Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have another amazing day here in Melbourne. Midsummer, our favorite time of the year. Just thought I'd do an update on some of the flowering and fruiting plants. We had a full garden work day yesterday. As you can see, we've mowed the lawn. Always makes things very attractive and neat. So what we're going to do is just show you some of the changes that have happened over the last couple of weeks. The wax jambu here has grown nicely. I haven't had much luck with wax jambu. For the last 10 years I've been trying to grow this plant, and it's all hit and miss. But these new ones that I got last year from Dailies and Ross Creek have been a lot better. So this is the pink variety with lots of new growth. I've got two more of these out at the back. The jabuticabas have got a lot of new growth as well. As you can see, all of them, all the way down. They can take the full sun, even up to 38 Celsius. They're very, very hardy. Definitely not a sook, the jabuticaba, not a sook. You know what is a sook? These guys here are sooks. Look how I have them in the shade. They can't take full sun, whereas the jabuticabas can. These guys are sooks. Young tropicals like lychee, I have to keep them in the shade. I can't put them out there in the sun because they'll burn. I don't understand why they're so sensitive when they're young. The same with custard apple. The same with canistel. The same with sapodilla. And the other custard apples I have here. They just can't take it. I'll lose them. They get burnt to cinders in their first year. So they remain in shade for 2 years. In winter I have to put them in the greenhouse because they don't like the cold. In summer I have to put them in the shade because they don't like the sun. That's the problem with tropicals. Not all of them, but some of them. Another one that's a problem is this one here, but for some reason it's behaving now. But last year when I had it in the sun, it couldn't take it. This is the Malabar chestnut, and as you can see, it's very happy in 30 and 35 Celsius direct heat, direct sun. But last summer it suffered a lot. It didn't like the sun. I had to put this in the shade. Some more jabuticabas down here, not a problem. Another jabuticaba here, no problem. And over there is the young jujube, and these have got that one there doesn't it's got a couple of little fruit on it. This one here as well is fruiting, right, the young one. This is the Shangshi Li. So last year I didn't do it. It almost died on me. I was gonna rip it out. I don't know what happened to it last year. I had problems. Either the soil issues, I don't know what issues, but it almost died on me. So I lost a whole year on this Shangshi Li, and I lost a whole year on that Sherwood. But now they're both happy. Happy, happy, happy. And then we have the Lee, the regular Lee, skyrocketing up there next to the fig. This guy up here, he's at 2.5 meters. Yeah, it's very, very tall. I've had to stake it so it doesn't collapse. Very unusual shape that the Lee has. So we've got another Guava here, native American pawpaw, another custard apple, a few avocado seedlings, a lot of dead tropicals from last year that didn't make it. Some of them are coming back after dying, like this guy here. Look, see how he died? And yet it's come back from the root. It's like second chance. What are we talking about? A canistel from last summer, from 2020. Completely died, and now it's grown back. The same with the with this guy here. He also died, and look, he's back. That's the lacucha, monkey jack. Second chance. They grow back from the roots, guys. Can you believe it? Very, very weird. And here's another one. It's doing the same. Look, it's growing back from the roots. It's dead. And that's another canistel. So very, very sensitive to root rot, hot sun. I mean, everything bothers them. Everything bothers these guys. It's not like in the tropics where you plant them and then just let them go. Not here. You can't just plant them and let them go here because you got winter. Winter is the problem. These are too small for winter. So I put them in the greenhouse, right? And they make it in the greenhouse, but then come summer, they don't like being in the sun. This is an Aracha boy. Look, he's dead all over the place. It's like spindles of death. And yet, look what's happening down at the bottom. It's coming back. So we're dealing with very finicky plants. Finicky. Too much water, not enough water. Too much sun, not enough sun. So they're really too draining. And here's another one. Another Aracha boy. Right? This one is doing a little better. Yeah, I always have to check the soil before I water them. That one's got some moisture, so I don't water it even though it's really hot. Because if I overwater him, he'll die. So it's an ongoing battle with tropicals. And here's the Malay apple, which died back as well. But he's staying alive, barely, with 3 leaves. Again, I've got to check the soil. Yep. Another one which I don't have too many problems with is the Pitanga tuba. This one here. He seems to have done a lot better than all the others I showed you. He flowers continuously, like constant, but he's not holding onto any fruitlets. So we're still waiting for the first Pitanga tuba after 3 years. See how the fruitlet just drops off? Yeah, patience is the key for these guys. A lot of patience. Here I've got a mangosteen The one I got from Ross Creek. I'm not sure on the variety. It's not listed on the tag. Again, in the shade. It got all the new growth after dropping its old leaves. There's a bacon which is coming back after dying. This has died twice on me, this bacon in the pot. It comes up to here and then dies back. Comes back up to here, then dies back. This is like the ER center of tropicals in here. ER. This is a cherry moya seedling. It was originally a maroochydore, not cherry moya, custard apple. It was originally a maroochydore custard apple, but the graft died, so now it's the cherry moya rootstock. So I've held on to this. It's very, very healthy. There's the graft there that died. See that? Right here. That's dead. So I'm going to hold on to this rootstock. Maybe put it in the ground. I don't know how long cherry moya seedlings take to fruit. And I was going to plant it right here between the jujube and fuyu, persimmon, right in here. So, and speaking of jujube, this is the Chico variety, and this is gone nuts again. Every year this one gives us a lot of look at it, it's massive. But I got to cover it with a fruit fly net. Last year half of them were infested with worms, with fruit fly worms, which is a real bummer. A real bummer, guys, to go to all this trouble. This is a 10-year-old tree. After 10 years to get worms in all the fruit. Not nice. Not nice at all. That's the cherry of the Rio Grande, doing really well, very healthy after a year in the ground. Here I have the jamun or jambolan, right? I had to stake it again twice to make sure that the two leading branches here are sitting up, because it was drooping almost on the ground. It's top heavy. It's doing good. And a few weeks ago it was almost setting fruit. I don't know what it's doing here, but let's get a little closer here. I don't know if you guys can see, but look, see those panicles? It's like trying to flower, and I don't know what happened. I think they dropped the flowers there. It's always getting new growth. There's some more flower panicles there. So jamun is well on its way to being a tree, big tree. Another 2 or 3 years and I can see that being well, it's at 1.8 meters now. I can see it being 2.5 meters in a couple of years, and as big as the jujube in 5 years. The jabuticaba, this is the small leaf dropping its bark, right? So this here, A lot of bark. So it's getting a new skin. The dragon fruit there, waiting for the first flowers. This is the pearl, the white flesh. Here's our kohala longan with all its new shiny leaves. And down below we have a flower panicle, right down at the lower branch down there. Green sapodilla now, which is 1.5 to 1.6 meters in height. The Sue Bell, which is 3 meters, over 3 meters in height. We had some Sue Bells yesterday, 2 of them, that were delicious. The pomelo here, it's got over 100 fruit, the pomelo. It's like we're gonna need a pomelo party. Invite people over for a pomelo party. The lychee, the Bosworth, dropped all its flowers, so no fruit this year, which was sad. I was hoping to get the first lychees on this one, but that's all right. Let it keep growing. It's still very young. Over here we have the African Pride, custard apple, atemoya, right, with flowers all along all the stems. It's still coming back. This is the time of the year that the custard apples are growing, so you can see here the growth, all the new growth coming. It just finished dropping its old leaves from last year, so we're about 2 months behind the northern states as far as growth is concerned. The same with the cherry moya here next to it. This is a 12-year-old cherry moya tree. It's quite big. I've had to keep pruning it because of the ice cream being above, right? So I have to keep this in check. Here's a cherry moya from last season, which never fully ripened, just sitting there. A small size one. Orange tree, always holding oranges. That's from last season. And as you can see, here is the pomelo with, like I said, over 100 fruit. I don't know how we're gonna get through 100 pomelos, but that'll be interesting, challenging. I don't mind having challenges like that. There's the ice cream bean flowers up there, right, just above the pomelo. Very pretty. The Thai night. The Thai night starfruit tree, which is also 10 years old, still hasn't fruited, believe it or not. It's hard to believe, but it's true. It doesn't even flower, guys. Doesn't even flower. I don't know what's wrong with this starfruit, but there's always hope, right? We're not going to give up. It has to do what trees do and eventually set flowers. And yes, I give it a lot of potassium. Don't worry about that. It gets everything that it needs. Next is the another kohala longan, which is fully loaded here with flowers on that side, on this side, and in the middle. This is coming up to 6 years, this longan. Over there we have a tangelo. That's loaded with tangelos for spring. Calamondan coming nicely. No problems with citrus. Citrus behaves so well here. A third Kohala longan. This one is the sickest looking out of the three, with that yellow leaf look. But thankfully got all these new leaves in the last month with some bonus flowers. So who knows? Maybe the weakest of the three longans will fruit first. Who knows? Got a couple of avocado seedlings there, a couple of what do you call them? Tamarillo cuttings there that are also fruiting. So easy to get fruit from those. A new longan that I put in the ground. Well, I've had it for a year, but it's new in the ground. This is a chompu. I just put this in the ground 2 days ago. So that's the second chompu now I have in the ground. The Pinkerton avocado on neutral ground, not moving, not going back, not going forward, just sitting still, which is better than dying, right? The rose apple that I put in the ground back in spring, he seems to be happy in full sun, right? The Fuerte decided not to fruit this year. Again, nothing, which is really strange. Grapefruit, ruby red grapefruit, Tahitian lime, cherry, plum, they're all back there in the background. The loquats at the back and the macadamia. Banana blossom here. A small rack. Monstera deliciosa. As close as we can get to having leaves that resemble breadfruit. So that's as close as we get. Oops. One of my knives is here. Oh, I was looking for that. One of my cutting knives. Babaco, which I have only for as an ornamental. Doesn't fruit. In here we have a few others. There's the gyro persimmon, Tahiti black sapodilla, a couple of the yellow jabuticabas doing fine, they're happy. Persimmon, persimmon in the ground, that is. And there in the pot we have one of three Barbados cherries that keeps flowering but not fruiting, not setting fruit, as you can see there. Very attractive flowers on the acerola. This is a sook, by the way. Barbados cherry is a sook in Melbourne. Doesn't like. There's a lot of things it doesn't like, and I don't like it. There, take that. So we cut some Monstera deliciosa leaves yesterday, and that's one of the mulberries. And there's another rack of bananas there. Ornamental ginger, well, not exactly ornamental, but edible ginger, Mayogi variety. A new apricot tree there, a dwarf. More bananas. There's a new banana ready to come over there. Banana blossom. More bananas here. Bananas everywhere. We're going bananas, right? The Tahiti black sapodilla from behind. And here we have the ice cream bean. Huge. Pepino. Jerusalem artichoke. A dead cherry moya there. This guy, he just died mysteriously after 8 years, so I'll have to plant a new tree there. a new white sapodilla that hasn't done much in 1 year. I don't know why it's taken so long to get moving. We've got some turmeric coming up there. More bananas up there. The last apricots behind the net. Some sugar cane that desperately needs to be harvested and juiced. More Jerusalem artichoke. This is yacon. Sweet potato. Gonna put a new tree in here where the allspice was and died. It drowned during the spring rains. And in here we've got more tropicals, as you can see. It's like a tropical fruit forest. Still all very young. This is only a 2-year-old fruit forest. So we have a chompu longan, persimmon over there, mamey sapodi in a pot, black sapodi in the ground, a volunteer fig that just came out of nowhere, some cucumbers, as you can see. Cucumbers are doing great, harvesting 3 or 4 a day. Another Barbados cherry, which was full of flowers and nothing came with them, which is strange, probably too dry in the pot. One of 3 new starfruit trees, 2 of them in the ground. This is the Grand Nain banana. Still waiting for the first Grand Nain rack to come. This is the 3rd Barbados cherry that's in the ground. The only one in the ground, but it hasn't woken up for some reason. It's not waking up. I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't know why. So starfruit, taro, starfruit, sapodilla, another green sapodi, another banana there, all the sugar cane, more bananas, 20 foot tall, that one, it's huge. Massive. And there we have the blue Java ice cream banana. Another one of the wax jambu. Okinawa spinach coming back from winter dormancy. The dwarf loquat, the dwarf macadamia. There's a canistel coming back to life after being dead. That's a grey canistel, but it's coming back from the roots, so we lost the graft. Another sapodilla in the ground, being circled by Cape gooseberries, right? The Cape gooseberry is just going crazy, and the sapodilla isn't doing much at all. So you can see the difference between plants in the. People ask me, "Did you feed it? Is it getting enough fertilizer? Is it getting enough water?" Guys, the sapodilla is in the same freaking place as the Cape gooseberry. Look at the Cape gooseberry, how it's taking off. Do you see the difference? So is the soil here good or not? Is the soil wet enough or not? Well, your answer is here. This guy here is the answer. Look at the Cape gooseberry. It's already fruited twice. It's a volunteer that put itself there. So the sapodilla is a different animal when it comes to growing. This is the kwai mak, which lost all its leaves, and now it's getting new leaves, a new growth, as you can see all along, right? Very finicky when it's hot. This should have been in the shade, not in full sun. Another starfruit there, that one's in a pot, the arkan. the Brazilian cherry. Look how wide it's gone. It's gone from over there to over here. So instead of going up, it's going sideways in a pot. It looks like I've lost the lucuma, which is really sad. I should have had this in the shade, not in the sun. It's very wet. Let's see if it's alive. Is that yeah, that was grafted, so I've lost the graft and the rootstock, both. They're gone. So my first lucuma is dead. Oh well. Oh well. And here's the third wax jambu, and this one has fruit. So we're gonna get some wax jambu fruit, which is very exciting. And up here too. The lighting is not very good. It's morning time, 11 a.m. So it's not getting any light here yet. But you can kind of make out what I'm showing you. So that's exciting. And down here too. Yeah, the wax jambu in a pot. Only had it for a year. And then we have the Rollinia, which has made a full comeback, finally. This should have happened back in November, but it was cold and wet. So these guys don't mess around. They need everything perfect. But it's back, right? And here we have a yam. A yam, which I planted last year, is making a comeback on the wire. Yeah, just out of the blue, the yam. So that's an overview of the back here, with the cucumbers running all along at the back. Not a problem with them. Okay, so then we have another banana rack here, and tomatoes. Tomatoes are going berserk. I might have to remove this banana here because I don't like how it's leaning. Someone told me to use rope to tie it. How am I going to get up there? That's 5 meters where you would put the rope. Forget about it. Too much work. Too dangerous. So yeah. So we've had the first tomatoes already. These are all heirloom. Much easier than the non-heirloom. Less work required. Zucchinis, kale. The kale are getting slaughtered by the cabbage moth. There you go. Look, this is why I don't like vegetable gardening. Look, this is why. Do you see why, guys? Look, I haven't got time. I haven't got time to mess around with these things. Maybe you do, but I'd rather spend my time elsewhere doing other things than messing around with taking worms off, right? I'd rather do something else than come out here every day with worms. Yeah, I know you told me put some dust on here, put some crap on here, right? Make it this, make it that. But if I don't have to do it with the tomatoes, and I don't have to do it with the zucchinis, and I don't have to do it with the other plants, I should remember not to grow these in summer. Winter time, there's no worms. Yeah, it's an infestation. It's nasty. So I'm not into doing this. Maybe you are, because you've got nothing else to do, right? I've got a lot of things to do, guys. A lot better things to do than mess around with worms. think I got half of them. There's probably half more left underneath, under the leaf. I'm not gonna, and it's almost 30 degrees and I'm hot. Camera is heating up. I'm not gonna sit out here doing this every day in summer. Look at that. Maybe you enjoy doing this. Some people actually enjoy fooling around like this. Gives them meditation. They meditate. No thanks. I'd rather be at the beach sun tanning. Look at all the eggs that are coming. See all the eggs? Can you see those white eggs? Yeah, that's the next generation coming next week. Okay, that's enough. I can't do this anymore. It's annoying. Yeah, I wonder why the birds don't eat the worms. You know those birds that are such a pest? Huh? Such a pest that eat all my fruit. Why don't they eat the worms? Why aren't the birds doing my job? Alright guys, let's move on. Okay. So we have a mulberry there. Rocoto. Chili peppers, which are great. Okay, orange tree. Another star fruit. This is the Carey, the pink Guava, which is flowering now. As you can see, we mowed the grass. Looks nice, very pretty. A lot of work. Yeah. So the guavas are flowering and fruiting. These are the seedlings I grew, the ice cream beans. Multi-grafted apple, which is pretty sad there, because it's in a hot sun. I try to keep up the water, but again, dries out too fast. We don't get rain in summer. In Brisbane, you get rain all the time in summer. Here, it never rains. So if I don't water, everything dies. Everything young dies. Look at the taro. See how the taro is all sad? Well, that's because it doesn't rain here. We don't get rain. We get rain in winter, the wrong time of the year. So it's a lot of extra work, right? This is the red daca. I'm waiting for it to flower. There's over 200 Hass avocados, which is awesome. Bumper crop. We'll show that another time, close up. Okay, I think I covered everything here in the back. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. The Wurtz has given a record amount of fruit. The most fruit that it's ever given in the 16 years that I've had it. I counted at least 40 fruitlets. And when I say fruitlets, we're talking that size. Look at that fruitlet. Yeah, so we're getting a lot. I'm really, really happy about the Wurtz, finally. And the reason, once again, it goes back to the rain. The reason we're getting so much fruit on the Wurtz is because of the record amount of rain we had in spring. Yeah, because of the rain. The rain, the rain, the rain. Which was unseasonal. So if we get that rain all the time, yeah, we're going to have a bumper crop on the Wurtz every time. And that's how it works, guys. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy to see. It's hard to see them. I was trying to film, but off camera I find them, and now on camera I can't see them. Typical, huh? There's last year's fruit, which I bagged from the possums. If I get in there, you can see this year's and last year's side by side. All right, guys. I think that's a cut before we go to the front yard and show you that. Hope you enjoyed the update from Midsummer. And there's the black sapodilla seedling. We're gonna have to thin these out next year or this year because they only grew so big, too small. The prickly pear, waiting for the first flower on that. Hopefully we get some flowers on that, and that's it. That's a wrap. I think I covered it. There's one thing I didn't show you. I forgot. Hang on, let's go to the back. We also need to take that rack down up there. They're ready. Bananas and macadamia. The green gage are ready. Yeah, we've been feasting on them, but the problem is, so have the birds. We're competing with the birds. I don't know if you can see them. There's hundreds of them, right? Hundreds of green gage, our favorite. Look at them, they're like grapes. Look at that. Can you believe it? There's like 300 green gage. And next to it is the damson, which are also ready. They're poking over the neighbor's fence. See them back there? Yeah. So I almost forgot to show you the damson and the green gage. That one's gone over the fence and over yonder. See ya. Like lucky neighbor, right? All right, guys, we are done. Thanks for watching once again. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and put a like if you enjoy the videos. I appreciate it, and we'll see you from the next video. Bye bye now.